Hello, welcome to my channel. Hi everyone. Hello. Hi. Good morning. Hello. 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 Hiya. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. Today is another first time buyer house buying update. So I think last time I ended the video where I was just going to continue saving for a deposit, and that's what I was doing, and then something happened. Don't get excited, it doesn't go to plan. Spoiler. So I've written down some notes. I actually wrote them down as this was happening in case things did go my way, because I thought it would be nice to have a sort of start to finish sort of diary about it, but it didn't. So let me read my notes to you. So the first thing I've written on here, it says previous communication in 2020 ended because I assumed they were out of my price range. However, ... I'm very dramatic with my diaries. So I will say this is regarding a 2-bedroomed modern house from Persimmon. So this happened a few weeks ago, but I haven't got round to filming yet. To be honest, I've been a bit funny with my YouTube. I go in phases where I really enjoy it and then I can't be bothered. So it's hard when you've not got the proper kit and you can't afford the proper kit to vlog, because it's not sort of straightforward. But anyway, I'm digressing. So 22nd of February 2021, I got a phone call from Chris at Persimmon. Chris called to say that the 2-bedroomed houses will be put up for sale in the next 6 months, and that the 5% deposit that I would need would be £6,750. So as I'd said, I assumed that they would be out of my price range, and I'd put them to the side and not really thought about them since then. And then he said that I would need the 6,750, which just so happened to be the exact amount of savings that I had in my account. So at that point I thought, this is interesting. I've got that amount of money. That's what he's saying I need. This could be a positive sign. So that same day, because he rang me and I said I would think about it. So about half an hour after that phone call, I sent him an email. I asked a few questions about the process, the Help to Buy equity loan, etc. So that was the 22nd of February. On the 24th of February, I gave him a call because he'd not answered my email. The voicemail said that they were only open Thursday to Monday. That day was a Wednesday. So I left him a voicemail to say that I was interested and can he email or call me back. So then I thought, oh, they're not open. I didn't realise that they weren't open. That's why he's not replied to my email. Fine, whatever. So then 2 days later, on the 26th, I gave him a call. So because I'd not heard anything since then. Left him another voicemail asking him to call me back. I got a text back from him after that saying he was dealing with another customer but he would call me back. The next day he hadn't called me back, so I rang him, no answer, left another voicemail, and then he rang me back. So this is 5 days after he said that the houses were going to be put up for sale in the next 6 months. So 5 days later, he rang me back saying all the houses had been early birded, which means people have basically put their name down for them. But there was a plot that might be coming back, as the people that had early birded that one had lied and said that they didn't have a house to sell, and they did, and Persimmon weren't happy with that. So this is on the 27th of Feb. So basically he said the base was down, and I could go and have a look at it, and I booked an appointment for the next day. He told me that there was no fees for the mortgage advice, and they've got solicitors as well. So I was thinking I could do it all together and it would be less hassle for me as a first time buyer not really knowing what I'm doing. So that same day, somebody called Vicky from a mortgage company that are with Persimmon rang me. She told me that I would need an £18,000 deposit, which is over double what Chris told me. When I said, Chris said that I would need 6,000 whatever, 750. So why is it different? She said, well, he's not a mortgage advisor. That's a fair point, but he shouldn't be saying that's what I need if I need more than that. Basically, it turned out that I hadn't really thought about anything further than him saying that's what I needed and that's what I had. I hadn't thought about the actual house price and how much mortgage I would need. So that I actually needed more mortgage than they would lend me in the end. They could only give me, I think they could give me about 10 grand less than I needed. He did say that that Persimmon would be able to help with a deposit slightly, but basically I'd need an extra 10 grand and they could only give me 5. So then he said, not to worry. There's another mortgage company that I can put you in touch with. They sometimes can give you more than the other mortgage company, and did I want to try that? So at this point I was really sort of frustrated because in my head I'd taken him at face value. I'd taken his word for it and thought, he said you need that amount of a deposit. I had that amount of deposit and I thought that was going to be it. But actually, because I'd been waiting a week for all this, in that week my mum kept saying to me, it'll be fine, it'll all go through. And we were talking about what I was going to do with my garden and stuff like that. But I actually kept saying to my mum, it's not happened yet. It might not happen. They might not give me a mortgage, because about a year ago I applied for a mortgage and I obviously didn't. I had like half of what I've got now, in less than half, and that didn't happen. So I was quite reserved about it. And I'd also been looking at some YouTube videos of the house, and basically it was tiny. The kitchen and living room were together, and the kitchen only had, I would say, maybe 5 cupboards that you could use. One of them had the boiler in. It was only on like the tiniest bit of wall. There wasn't any room for a dining table. I'd been concerned about where, if my granddad came round, I'd made him some tea, where would he eat it? Because there's only a breakfast bar, he wouldn't be able to get on the breakfast bar table. In the second bedroom there was this weird like raised platform in the corner which took up a little bit of space. And I had already been worrying about it, thinking all the stuff that I've got for my kitchen isn't going to fit in that kitchen. So I had already been worried about it. So when this happened, I actually thought for a bit about whether I wanted to try with the other mortgage company. And later on the same evening, this was on a Saturday, after the conversation with the lady from the mortgage company, and then speaking to Chris and him saying about the new mortgage company, I actually decided that I wasn't going to go ahead and I wasn't going to try with another mortgage company, because I was already doubting the size of the property and whether it would be right for me. So I emailed him and I said I'd decided not to speak to the other mortgage company and would he cancel the call. And I cancelled the visit to the site, and he emailed me back, and he was really kind, really nice, and he said that's absolutely fine, I completely understand it, and he was a nice guy. It was just very, very hard to get in touch with him. He rang me and telling me about that there was the houses were for sale. Within half an hour, I emailed him back. He didn't get back in touch with me for 5 more days, and then they'd all gone. How does that happen? I replied within half an hour saying, I want one of these houses. Obviously, it never happened anyway, but I just think... Anyway. So, in conclusion, I am back to where I was. I'm just still saving for a deposit. At the moment, I'm thinking, even though there's 5% deposit, 5% mortgages coming back out now, this month actually, I'm in two minds. I'm thinking maybe I just carry on saving until I've got 10%, because hopefully that won't, sorry, I'm really wobbly. Hopefully that won't take too long now. What's going on? Why am I so wobbly? So yeah, so I'm back to the drawing board. I think I'm going to carry on just saving until I've got 10%, and then we'll start again with the process. I am looking on Rightmove now, because when I spoke to Brian, the mortgage advisor, a few months ago, before all this happened, he said what he thought I'd be able to borrow. So, excuse me. So I've been looking on Rightmove. At the moment, there's nothing that jumps out at me. There's nothing that I'm like, oh wow, I really want to buy that. So I'm just going to carry on saving for the moment. Interestingly, though, at the same time as the situation with Persimmon was going on, a house did come up for sale in my area that was very similar to the Persimmon house, but it was like pre-owned, and it had a separate kitchen diner to the living room. So there was just a kitchen on its own with room for a dining room, and then the living room was separate, and that was £30,000 cheaper than the Persimmon house. So interesting. So we'll see what happens. I thought I'd just give you a little update, and I'm not sure when the next update will be, but you know, strange things happen. This came out of the blue. I know nothing happened with it, but it was a potential. So we'll see what happens, and I am fairly hopeful, not certain, but fairly hopeful that this year I will buy a house. So subscribe if you're interested in a house buying journey, because one of these videos, one day, hopefully soon, will be me saying I've bought a house, and then there'll be loads of house content, and I won't be scrabbling around trying to find video ideas. Anyway, I'm waffling on as I do, you know I do, waffling and wobbling. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hit myself in the face.